internet! Well, this is awkward. Today, I'm going to be talking about my art journey so far. But joke's on you if you think that I'm going to do another storytime animatics. I mean, I'm still gonna do one eventually, but those are so tedious, so I might rethink about it. Also, I just want to try other ways of making content, so hi! You get to see me draw for the very first time. So let's start, shall we? Step 1. I started drawing when I was 10, 11 years old, and can I just say, I'm so bad at drawing when I was 10. I know you might be wondering why the heck am I so stressed out when I'm only 10. Well, that's a story for a few seconds later. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the majority of young artists starts off either doing art because they love it or they're good at it. In my case, I'm not really quite there. I didn't enjoy art the slightest when I was young, nor am I good at it. In fact, I'm terrible. Every time I see my old art, I just want to burn it in the fucking trash. But guess what? I already did. The reason why I started drawing was, well, because like everyone else, I dropped art once it's no longer in our field of studies. But in my P5 class, there was this one girl, which I'll call her person B. She's super talented at the time. So hearing that, my stupid, younger competitive self decided, hey, let's challenge this way talented person than me. And I got right instantly. So from then on, I'll keep having these drawing competitions with person B for the rest of the school year. I'm surprised she put up with me for that long. I sincerely apologize for my younger self to you, person B. I don't think she'll watch this. I don't even know. I don't even remember what's her name anymore. This is actually how we became friends, through art. Though ironically, this is also the reason why our friendship ended. Of course, I was feeling really hard at the beginning, and thus I want to improve, like everyone else. But I don't know any other artists other than person B, so I asked for her tutoring and she said no. That's fine. I don't want your tutor anyway. So I started copying the way she draw. Of course, I was terrible at replicating her art style, but it was still very obvious like what I was going for. And that made her really angry. I didn't understand why at the time, but she kept accusing me for art theft. Don't get me wrong, I really wanted to surpass her, but I didn't want her to be upset. This went on for about 3 months. So to satisfy her while still not giving up on my competitive side, I changed my art style completely. I instead copied the art style of Winx Club, since that is what I was into at the time, and it looked nothing like her art style. So I thought that I'm in the safe zone. But she still accused me for art theft. At this point, I was just so confused. I remember trying to tell her that I stopped art completely because I really didn't want to lose a friend for something as dumb as this. I treasure my friends. But she kept on saying that it is too late and that it was all my fault. This was the last conversation I remember we had before the year ended and person B's family migrated to a neighboring country. We never contacted since. Initially, this story is supposed to have a story time of its own, but as I was writing a script during that time, not only is the script getting more depressing, but so was I. I've also attempted writing other scripts, but those turned equally depressive, if that's even a word. Which is why I decided to make the Weird Things About Me video, which is to get me to avert away from being caught out in my own negative thoughts. Plus, school got busy, so that further helped me. Now I think about it, I should have added flames and a more passionate vibe of trying to, because I was trying to beat my friend, which is what I was feeling for at that time, which I did fix it afterwards. But that's what the script said before I fixed it. So next step, adolescence. Is that how you pronounce adolescence? Anyway, I finally made some real art friends. Don't get me wrong, still terrible at art, but my friends are very encouraging and friendly. Though I'm no longer really contacted either of them, I'm still grateful for meeting them at that point of my life. Though this checkpoint is actually when I improved the least between the 4 steps, since I only drew when I was in class. Since I wasn't particularly keen on drawing, I just didn't do it in my spare time. As you may or may not see, I drew a lot of MLP during this time. And can I just say, the brony fan... And can I just say, the brony face is the most embarrassing face I ever had. Like, oh my god, I'm so grateful it only ended up as a face. This is also around the time where I met my weeboo face too, so it just doubled the cringe. At least my 2 other friends are also into anime, so we just gather in the school toilet. Why the toilet? At least my 2 other friends are also into anime, so we just gather into the school toilet and collectively scream at hot tootie guys together. That's when you know you get some real homies. It's when they have good taste in men, which are non-existent. I remember, except for drawing ponies, I practiced a lot of human anatomy. Because both my friends drew anime, I too want to draw anime. But man, I suck! Plus up to now, I've been drawing nothing but cartoons, so the concept of animes and a more like realistic portion kind of drawing, it's a bit out of my reach at the time. And first I started learning the body. That's a good way of phrasing it, since anime is closer to a realistic proportion, to the realistic proportion. I also refrained myself from drawing fan art at the time because I feel like I'm not doing justice to the character with my crappy art. Which, if you're someone who draws fan art completely for fun, please continue, don't be like me. Of course, because I love the character too much, and since I always knew about the art gap from the beginning, it is really difficult to actually enjoy drawing whatever I like when I'm always being so self-critical to myself. That being said, never ever punish yourself by limiting yourself or not allowing yourself to draw things you like. This was my mistake, and my art skill progressed the least during this period. So please love yourself. Oh, I suddenly remembered something very funny. So the girl on your left only draws anime girls, and the girl in the middle only draws anime boys. So that leaves me with, well, I guess I'm drawing furries. Okay, number 3. I think everyone loved the sketch of this the most, so spoiler alert, I kind of screw up the coloring. I'm so sorry. So around this time is when I could finally enjoy drawing for the very first time. This was when I realized I shouldn't force myself to draw only one thing, and my creativity kind of exploded. I wrote and drew so many OCs. It was fun, you know. Although I was still struggling in terms of skill, I definitely enjoyed those processes. Sometimes. This was also around the time when I got a tablet. Or rather, I stole it from someone. And this was the first time I've dealt with colors. And can I just say, I suck at color theory. I definitely still struggle with coloring to this day. I mean, you can see that I'm struggling in my speed paint, I think. I am nothing but a ball of confusion to anything related to color theory, shading, painting, rendering. At this point, I must as well say I don't know anything about art other than sketching. Well, that's kind of true though, because I only did line up to 3 times before I switched to digital, so it is mainly sketching until that point. If I have no balls, I would have just stick to a pencil and paper. But I have a lot of things I want to create which requires to be digital. So I can't give up now. I'm already 3 years into digital art. Since there is a gap here between my script, I shall talk about what I struggled with. Number 1, coloring, obviously. Number 2, perspective, especially with the foreshortening. Number 3, robots or anything technology based, which is why I suck at drawing 2A. Please make a human persona. Number 4, eyes. Previously, I struggled with coloring the eyes, but now I actually struggle with the line art of the eyes. I actually don't understand how eyes work. You'll know what I mean when you see the last drawing. Number 5, nose. This is why I don't draw a nose. Number 6, lips and mouths. At this point, I might as well just say I can't draw the entire face. I don't remember what number is next, but next one, rendering. I never understood it, but I really want to learn it. I never understand it because I've always been a big picture person. I don't notice the small details, which I guess is one thing I'm trying to improve because I really want to do those like rendered anime style drawings. That is my current goal. Okay, so initially, I picked up a lighter color as a backdrop. But as you can see, nothing is standing out according to the whole scale of the piece. What am I saying? I don't know. I'm joking. So I've asked someone for help, and that someone told me that it lacks saturation. So thank you, Miss Someone. Supposedly, I was to make my character more saturated since she is the subject here. Subject? Is that how you use subject? Okay, she's the main piece here. She's the main focus here is what I'm trying to say. But I kind of don't want to screw up, so I just made the background darker and stronger. Last one. So this is a portrait drawing which I consider myself to be better at, but then I screwed myself by making this a front angle drawing. I feel like after this I could master up the balls to attempt making a VTuber model. I mean, I'm not particularly interested in live streaming. I mean, I am, but I don't have the balls to do it. But if you think about it, having a rigged VTuber model is actually very versatile. I am surprised that no one tried using this for story times so far of what I've seen. But then to be fair, VTubing, pretty expensive. Especially if you can't make your own art or the live 2D rigging. I feel like in terms of investment it's kind of like cosplay, but it's only a one-time payment. Providing you don't get like extra commission for different outfits. Oh, just thinking about both of this just reminds me of how poor I am. So the most expensive hobby I ever have is this drawing tablet, and I didn't even buy it. I just freaking stole it from someone from the neighboring room. This is This is supposed to be about my personal art story, not about VTubers. I apologize. So if you may or may not, so I don't think a lot of people know, but for some reason, the past 2 years, I mainly draw portrait art. I think I was just really excited that I can finally draw my own PFP, so but I should really stop drawing just portraits and draw other things. It's my and that's my own opinion. There are definitely a lot of other things I want to draw, but I definitely need to relearn and learn a lot of these things. So I'm turning 20 this year, but 19 is a nicer number in comparison to the first three. Plus my birthday isn't up yet, so I'm technically still 19. End of story. So it's been about 10 years since I've been drawing, and honestly, I felt like I'm back at square one. Of course, my skills have definitely went up since 10 years ago. I mean, if it didn't, then there is a serious problem there. But even so, when I start, okay, I know you shouldn't do this, but I started, but I'm sorry, when I start comparing myself to random strangers online, to even my close friends, it felt like what I've been doing for the past 10 years were all for naught. Well, in short, I feel useless. I feel that my art is worthless. I feel like I can't do anything. Welcome to my life. Even though I've improved this much and I did this much, it felt that I didn't do enough. That I wasn't good enough for anything really. Even like for myself, I guess. Even when I try to reach out my comfort zone, it feels like as if the whole world was just laughing and cringing back at me, when in reality, it was really just all me. It is funny thinking about it because back then, everyone, including my teachers, was screaming at me to stop drawing, but I've never stopped practicing. But now, no one is pressuring me or anything. And in fact, I actually have someone genuinely supporting me. You know who you are. And yet, I'm beating the crap out of myself. It really goes to show that the only person that can beat yourself down is you. So practice healthy admiration, okay guys? By the way, does anyone watching this video know how to access the mirror tool in Medibang? If there even is one? It's the tool that allows you to only draw on one side and the other will follow. I don't know why, but I couldn't find it. So please tell me if you knew. Okay, so I could talk more about myself, but I think I'll end up hating myself even more. So let's talk about my friends. I've mentioned that I have some close friends that draws. One of them started drawing anime at 2018, and he's improving way faster than I am, which makes me feel kind of ashamed of my art. Okay, so I don't know if you watched this video this far, but if you are, please don't feel bad about yourself. I think your art is amazing. Keep on doing what you're doing. Don't give up. I mean, even if I tell you to give up, you want to give up anyway, so. The other one, he only started recently, but I really feel that he has the talent because he draws things that even I don't understand. My friend is really interested in realism, and his sketchbook is filled with nothing but anatomy studies, inanimated objects, and naked people. Mostly naked people though. Not in a sexual way, by the way, now when I think about it. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely not perfect or anything, but there is just so much potential for him. Plus, he knows how to do his research. Surprisingly. So, personally, I would like to see him continue, if he chooses so. As of now, he's doing art like completely like as a hobby, experimental, so he might not continue. Actually, I had to fix a lot between drawings after I stopped recording, like for about three of them, in which I apologize. Maybe my next goal shall be to make a better speed paint. And we're done. Yay! It feels good completing a drawing or video no matter how much you're hating or cringing in the process. So this is my art story so far. I hope this is interesting to you. I'm not very entertaining. If you don't mind and that you have one, mind sharing me your art experience so far? I'm curious to see how similar or different yours and mine are. I mean, if you're still watching, you have already done a lot listening to what I've said. So if you have any problems, art related, actually even not art related, or a story you would like to share, I wouldn't mind listening. Just comment down and I'll read it. I read all my comments, there's not a lot of them. So this is Era. I swear to God, my name is so awkward to pronounce. And see you guys next time. Man, I should really do this more awkward. I mean,